Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I am Coach Chosen, and this is my journey learning how to forgive. And that's where I'm at on today. And some people would not have known that this is what the journey that I'm on, learning how to forgive. We can't just see a person and know that they're going through some troubled times or times of hard to forgive and things like that. But that's my journey today. I'm learning how to forgive. And what I've learned is that um, we always hear that we have to forgive, those who've hurt us in order for us to heal, and we know the basis of, learning that part, but we just don't know the full concept of learning, how to forgive, and what it does and what do we need to do moving forward because, forgiving is not easy. Sometimes we fall back into that place when we see those people that hurt us or wronged us, or, if they, said something again, with that forgiveness, is it really sealed? That's the thing that we're trying to see when you forgive somebody. Is it really sealed? Have we really sealed that, forgiveness, when people have wronged you or whatever the case they done to you? Yes. One second, guys. All righty. Thank you guys for waiting. Um, but my journey of forgiveness is it's not easy. It's not easy forgiving because some of this stuff that we go through is cemented in us, and we have to be able to loosen all of that hurt, all of that pain that we're holding in. And with my journey that I'm on, what I've learned is through studying is just learning what Jesus went through, um, the things that he endured, what he had to go through to be able to save us, to get us to this point, um, the beatings and all the things that he had to endure. And when they hung him on the cross, and he said, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And that's a part of my healing, right? I forgive those people that wrong me, that hurt me, because they know not what they do. And even when people wrong you or hurt you, they have no idea, what they're doing and who they're hurting, and how far does this hurt goes. I don't think, in my opinion, that the intentions is really there to be able to hurt so many people when you hurt one person. That's what happens when we hurt one person, we're tending to, hurt somebody's feeling or, or say something, right? It it trickles down the line where other people feel that pain and go through, that type of trauma because of the effect that it has on that one person. And, me learning that what Jesus went through when he went through his suffering and as he hung on the cross and as he said, Father, why have you forsaken me? And then he looked to the sky and he said, it is done. It is done. And he dropped his head. So all of the scars, and some of you guys, you may be wearing long sleeves today. but you have scars. And people don't see the scars and the things that you went through and what people may have put these scars on you, but we have to forgive them because they don't have no idea who they're hurting, the effect that they have on you. And one of the things I've learned also is that once you start to forgive yourself first, it starts with you forgiving you, for the things that you've done that may have not been pleasing. We have to start with self, taking a look in the mirror and saying, I want to be forgiven. I want to forgive me first so that I can start forgiving other people. It's so important though, because, we go through so much in life and we just don't realize that the effect that we have on people. We just don't. We just go on with our day. We hurt people daily and we talk about people and things like that. And it has a really significant on somebody's life, where they're really hurting. And forgiveness is so imperative that you do that, because you won't be able to function in your life, in your daily life, if you had not truly forgive. And how do you know when you truly forgive somebody is that, they don't disturb your peace no more. You can go on, you can see them, that you won't, want any harm or any hurt, harm, and danger to come to them, that you can pray for them. That's when you know that you're totally healed from, being able to forgive somebody. And it's hard. It is. I'm not going to say, well, it's easy, to forgive somebody and people may have hurt you, or people not showing up for you, in a time of your need, when you really need somebody to be there for you. They would. That kind of pain there is unprecedented, when you're going through a dark moment, and, nobody show up for you and you just don't want to be bothered with them. And you have this resentment, but you have to say, listen, I forgive them because I don't know what was going on in their life in the time of my crisis. In the time of your crisis, what was going on in somebody else's life. We can always say that, yeah, they had time for me. They could have did this and they could have did that, but we just don't know. And that's the thing about forgiving. God forgive all of us for our sins, but what makes us better than God to where we can't forgive people? And I'm gonna go back to it again. It is really hard to forgive. It is because that hurt that attached to us, I'm telling you, it's like a leech. It don't want to come loose. It don't want to come loose. And we add on to the hurt because it's not just one person that's hurting you. It's probably two, or you got past hurt, childhood hurt. You understand what I'm saying? And all of these people that wronged you. And it's hard to forgive because you got so much pain. And that pain is not allowing you to move forward. So now you can't accomplish things in your life because of the pain that you endure, because you can't forgive. And that's the cancer that's eating you alive, You cannot be totally happy. Your relationships fail. Your friendships fail. Jobs fail. Just doing daily things is not working out for you. And you're trying to figure out why nothing is working out for me. And now we have to go back to the basics, like, who hurt me, so that I can forgive them, so that I can be able to move on. And that's the part of it, and some of us are so caught up in other people. We're worrying about other people validations, well, everybody else is not forgiving, so I'm not going to forgive. I'm going to stay where I'm at. God said he's going to judge us individually, not as a whole body. He's going to judge us individually. So it's up to you what you do in your forgiveness, in your life, in that life that you're living, in the day that you were born, in the day that you leave here. That dash is where it counts at. That dash is where it counts at, in how you forgive people, because we all going to fall short of God's grace, all of us. And we all need what? Forgiveness. We need it from God. Surely we need it from people, because we know that we're going to fail you guys. We know, because we were born into this. And this is why we need forgiveness. 40 times 7, we need that forgiveness. We need it daily. And I said to myself, I was going through so much hurt, so much pain, and people couldn't even see the pain that I was enduring inside of me. And that's the cancer. You have to get screened for that, right? You have to get screened for that hurt. And you don't know how bad it is inside of your body. You have no idea idea how much it's eating you alive. You have no idea. Until you get this resolved, that's when you realize that it's bad. It's bad. I really need to get this under control because there's so much pain and things like that that I need to get healing. And the healing starts from you forgiving people for whatever they done for you so that your healing process starts. We need that. We need that healing. And a lot of us, we may be sitting back and we just, looking on and saying that, I'm okay. I forgave so-and-so. I forgave her. I forgave him. But when you see them, how do you feel when you see them? Are you actually praying for them? Now, one of the things I've learned also with forgiving is that it's not going to be always where you able to go to that person and say, listen, I apologize for my part that I played and I forgive you. It's not going to always be that collaboration. You're going to have to give it to God and say, Lord, I forgive them for what they done to me. I forgive them. And Lord, forgive me for the part that I may have played that I'm not conscious of. Because we can't see a lot of things that what we do due to the hurt and pain, the response that we may give. And you say, well, I said that because they said that. Well, two wrongs, don't make a right. So we all playing a part in that, right? So we have to be forgiving also. When you're giving it, you got to say, hey, listen, I want to forgive myself. And you're not going to always have that opportunity with people. So you have to say, Lord, I forgive them. I truly forgive them. Give me the strength to be able to move on so this don't disturb my peace. Lord, give me peace in this process. It's not easy because what happens is with forgiveness, you're never going to forget what happened, but you're able to move on. You're able to move on. See, so the people that hurt you, the wounds are going to be there. All of your wounds, they're going to be there. You'll never forget it. But you know what? I'm able to move on. I'm able to overcome what I've been through. I needed to probably go through this, but I don't never want to go through it again. Does that make sense? I never want to go through this again. I never want to go through this type of hurt again. I never want to go through this pain again. But I need it. It was necessary for me to go through it. It was necessary. So that I would be able to forgive people when they wrong me. Because one of the things that I've learned also is we all going to keep going through something. We're all going to keep going through trials and storms and things like that. And what we know is when you're hurting, you're going to hurt other people along the way. Maybe not intentionally. We don't intentionally do it. And then there's a forgiving point right there that you want to be forgiving because of what you're going through your pain and suffering. Somebody else is going to have to suffer too. And there's going to have to be forgiveness there. So forgiveness, it really is necessary because that's what Jesus would want us to do. Jesus would want us to forgive our sisters and our brothers. It doesn't mean that we have to deal with them. It doesn't mean that because sometimes people are just not competitive to deal with. That's just the way it is. But it helps you in your life to be able to move on. That's the part there. It helps you. And when you forgive someone, that means that you don't talk about these people no more. You don't have bad things to say about them, even though they wronged you so much. And it's like, how can you forgive if you always going back? That's why God says, move forward. Everything that I have for you is in front of you. It's not behind you. Everything that I have for you is in front of you, not behind you. So if you're constantly talking about them, but how can you forgive them if you're still talking about them? If you're doing it in a positive way, you're praying for them. You're praying that they succeed in life. You're praying that they get it, that they able to forgive. You're praying for that, not their downfalls. That's when you know you truly got it. Some of us say, hey, I forgive them, but then you find yourself somewhere talking about them or things like that, and they're in your daily routine. They're in your life. They're in your conversation. They shouldn't be in a negative conversation of yours. It always should be positive. That's when you know that you actually forgive them. Your heart now is turning pure now. It's not just, you're just saying this, you're presenting action. This is action. I'm actually praying for, if you will, my enemies. I'm praying for people that may come up against me. I'm doing this, and the Father is pleased of me, right? I know that they hurt me. I know I have wounds. But how many people are strong like that? How many of you guys are actually strong like that? Not just saying that, yeah, I forgive, we be in conversations or you be in live like, yeah, I forgave them. I did this and I did that. But when you get off the live and if you see them strolling through social media, and once you lay eye on them, you just turn red. You turn completely like an apple. You just red hot. You haven't forgiven. You haven't forgiven. You're not free. You're not free. That anger, you're not free. That frustration when you see them, you're not free. That's when you know you're totally free. When you see them, you're in a good spirits. You haven't forgotten what they've done. Nobody forgets when they're hurt. You don't even forget when you were doing something celebrating. You always talking about, listen, yeah, I got this, I got the new house. Everything was good for me. I got this new job. You'll never forget it. And when somebody wronged you, when somebody hurt you, you will never forget it. But you can forgive them. It makes your life so much easier. Now, when you're saying that this is who you are, you consider yourself love, you consider yourself compassionate and all this kind of stuff, but it don't come into play of forgiveness, then you're not all the way there yet. And one of the things that we have to do, we have to admit that I'm just not there yet. I'm trying. And not just saying that you're trying, actually putting in the work. It don't happen overnight. No, it don't. It don't happen overnight. It takes work. It really does. You have to make sure that you're around good people, people that know how to forgive, people that learn how to forgive, people that's trying to forgive. Those are the people that you have to be around to better yourself, to be in a better position to win. That's how you win. Putting yourself around people that want to be better. Not people that saying, well, no, I ain't forgiving them, this and that or whatever. But there is an end time. And if you're on here and if you've been living long enough and you're not a little small kid, you've been here long enough to see people go, there is an end time. There is an end time. And we will be judged for what we do and how we forgive people, because you was forgiven of your sins. You was forgiven. But we want forgiveness. We want grace. We want mercy, but we're not willing to give it. And sometimes we do things that we're not pleased of, right? We make terrible mistakes, as being young adolescents and young teens and things like that. And we make some terrible mistakes that we look back on. It's like, wow, that was really stupid of me. I've done that. I'm not proud of that. And sometimes people are not proud of stuff that they done that they would never even talk about. They would never talk about some of the things that they done as a young teen or young adults that they wasn't proud of, but they're in the process of getting better, doing better, right? But you want forgiveness, but we're not willing to give it, no matter how bad it is. And for me, guys, I'll tell you this, for me, in my journey of learning how to forgive and being better, that's where I'm at. I'm not all the way there, but I'm really peaking there. I was hurt. I was hurt really, really, really bad. Really bad. I mean, real bad. I was hurt really, 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 really bad by a lot of people. A lot of people failed me. A lot of people failed me. They did. And I was hurt. And they may not realize the extent of hurt and pain that I was in. when I was failed. They have no idea. That's why when I go back to this, when Jesus told his father, he says, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do, right? So it goes back to my situation where I was hurting so bad. I was just going through mental health, depression. Everything was just upon me, and nobody was there. Everybody went on with their lives, their daily lives. Nobody called, nobody cared. It was like, you're on your own. And what it did to me, right? They have no idea. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. So what it did to me in my adult life, just a couple of years ago, right? It took me back to my childhood, which it wasn't healed. It wasn't healed. It took me right back to my childhood, to where I was abandoned. I was abandoned. I was abandoned at an early age. My mother passed away, and I was abandoned. My sister passed away. My father passed away. My brother passed away. I was abandoned. I had nobody. And then my sister and my brother, they were abandoned too. We were like a bird nest, not in a tree, but we was a bird nest on the ground. So we were so vulnerable to the world. And there was no help coming. There was no parade of people coming to help us, to bring us in, to care for us and do. We was abandoned. So looking back on that childhood, and as a child, I don't know how to forgive people. I don't know how to forgive as a child. You know, when we kids, we don't know how to forgive. We just hurt, we're angry, we're confused. What is going on? Why do I have to go through this? Even when we're kids, we're wondering why we can't have this, why I can't have all this candy. Why? You know, I'm upset why we can't have this. So as a young kid, why I can't have shelter. I'm homeless now at 13 years old. Why I can't have food. Why? Why am I being abandoned? Why there's no family there to comfort me or comfort me and my sisters and brothers? Why wasn't that comfort there? Resentment, hurt, pain, unforgiveness. As I get older, you know, I got this unforgiveness in my heart, and now I'm learning what I went through. And I'm like, somebody should have took us in. Somebody should have cared for us. Not knowing, you know, at a young kid. But then I had to learn to say, well, I'm only my mother and father's responsibility. I'm not nobody else's responsibility. My mother and father birthed me. They made me. So I'm not nobody else's responsibility. So nobody else supposed to take us in. Morally, yeah. But they don't have to or supposed to take us in. And they didn't. We had to make it on our own. We had to be homeless. So I had a lot of resentment, unforgiveness coming up as a young teen. I never would forget that because of so much pain that I went through as a young boy, you know. And then becoming an adult, to be able to go through the same similar hurt and pain of people not being there in my worst moments. It's hard to deal with, you know, that type of trauma when nobody is there when you really need them. And we go through that, right, guys? We'll say, whatever the case may be, you know, we may be, you know, it could be a celebration, birthday, could be graduation, married, you know, whatever the case may be. And you like, why nobody is helping me celebrate? You know, I love everybody. I talk to people. I'm a good person. And now what you're doing, you're evaluating yourself. You started to give yourself an evaluation like, wait a minute, am I a good person? You know, what is wrong with me? And now you're thinking something is going on with you because nobody is there for you. But it's not you. It's not you. It's them. It's them. That's why you have to be able to give that forgiveness. It's not you. You shouldn't have to go through hurt and pain. And your day-to-day is thinking about how people failed you in your worst moment, or do they love me, or why they don't love me, why people are not there. You got to say, hey, listen, it's not me. I forgive them. It's things that's going on in their life that they may not control, but I forgive them. So, in my journey of learning how to forgive, and sometimes it's like one thing after the next. While you're in your healing journey, here comes something else, right? You're dealing with childhood trauma, childhood unforgiveness. You come into adulthood, and then you have this where, and I want to be transparent, right? I'm like, wow, I lost two kids. I lost two kids. Not long ago. Not long ago. And nobody, and I'm gonna say it, nobody was there. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. Now, when I say nobody, it doesn't mean zero. I'm not just zeroing out. I had a person here. I had my sister console me as I consoled her when she lost her two kids. But when we go beyond the sister or brother, your wife, your significant other, when you branch off and you say, where is the help? Where is the army? Where's the family? Where's the family? Right? Where's that family? They call you and say, listen, I see you smiling, but I know you're not okay. You can't be okay. I can't imagine, but you can't be okay, because I know I wouldn't be okay. So even while you're smiling, you're moving on, I'm calling to check on you to see if you're okay. I want to make sure that you're able to get through what you're going through. You understand what I'm saying? I forgive you. I forgive you. I'm moving on in my life. I'm moving on. I prayed. I gave it to God. This part of the forgiveness of what I went through, of the failures of support, I'm moving on. I'm a whole different creature now. God has uplifted me. I've forgiven everyone. The people that I was able to reach and touch, to be able to talk to, I'm very transparent. I'll let you know. So if I'm able to talk to you, I'm able to see you, I let you know that you failed me, and I forgive you. And a few people I was able to see in person and let them know. I'm very transparent. And some people said, I didn't even know you felt that way. I didn't even know that you was going through that. And that's the part of, as Jesus said, he forgive you for you know not what you didn't know, right? So I forgive you for you know not what you do. For what you do. And forgiveness, like I say, it's not easy. There's so many people that wronged you, that hurt you, that should have been there for you, or may have done something bad to you, that scandalized your name. You understand what I'm saying? And you have to say, listen, and some people we just can't reach out to. But when you sincerely says, Lord, I forgive them for what they've done, even in passing and seeing them, anger won't come upon me. Resentment won't come upon me. I am in a whole different place. They do not have control over my life no more. Nobody. I'm in control of my own life, Lord. Thank you for giving me guidance, Lord. Thank you for showing me the way, Lord. Thank you for the trials and the tribulations that I went through, Lord. Thank you for the teachings that I had to be taught, Lord, to make me strong, Lord. I have scars. I have proof. But thank you, Lord, for uplifting me. And that's where we have to be, right, people? We have to be that way in order to be healed. And now you're in your healing journey, learning how to heal. But most importantly is what you're doing is you showing God that you can get through things. So now whatever God has for you, he can give it to you now because you're in a different place. You can handle it now. Before you couldn't handle it because you was angry, you had resentment, you had all of these things. So what you was trying to achieve in life, you could never get there. You was like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I just can't put my hand on it. But now I'm in a different place. God can trust me now, not just with finances, but he can trust me with my feelings. He can trust me in my feelings that I won't get distorted when I see somebody. I won't go with anger with them. I won't meet them with anger. I would greet them with love, pure love. And that's what Jesus was, pure love, in spite of all of the torture and the beating and the piercing and the hanging and the nails. Jesus still was love. The angels was ready to come and defend Jesus as they beat him. The angels was ready. They was ready to defend Jesus. He said no. He said no. I have to go through this. I have to go through this for them. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So people, whoever is on here, whoever I'm talking to, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So that you be free again. So whoever's coming up against you, whatever spirit may be upon them, it's not you. Free yourself. And once you free yourself, things will begin to change. You would be a new creature. God will be able to deal with you more because whatever God has for you is in front of you. We just got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. And we are in some serious times. I mean, perilous times is an understatement. It really is. It's an understatement, perilous time. There's so much stuff that's going on below the surface that you have no idea about. You have no clue about what's going on beneath the surface. You have no idea what's brewing. You have no idea. People you don't know. You have no idea what's going on beneath the surface. That's the reason why you have to have faith. Because you don't know. You don't know what's going on. You got to have faith. There's so much stuff going on in the world, you have no idea. Even when the pandemic hit, when it came, you had no idea it was coming. You had no idea that the pandemic would be as significant as it is. Welcome in, Erling. You had no idea how many people this coronavirus would take out. You had no idea. We don't know what the future may hold. What's brewing underneath the surface. But one of the things that you have to have is faith. Keep the faith. That's all we got. We got to trust God in everything. Not some things, but in all things that we got to trust God. In all things that we do. Even in forgiveness, we got to do what? We got to do what? Trust God. I forgive him. Lord, I'm trusting you in this because you told me this is what I have to do. I'm trusting you. I'm not trusting her or him. Father, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting your word. Your word is true. And you know it's not easy for me to do this. You know how bad I've been hurt. You know what I went through as a kid. You know what I went through as a teenager. You know what I went through as an adult. It's not easy. But Jesus showed us the example in what he went through. Was it easy? What he went through in his life, was it easy? They tried to show you in movies and videos of the pain and the suffering, what he had to go through to get through. What he had to go through to get through. So what you got to go through to get through. Forgiving people in spite of that you don't want to forgive them. Speaking to people that won't speak back to you. Loving people that won't love you back. How can you be in the image of Jesus if you won't walk that walk, but you just talking? Jesus showed you everything that he did was action. Action. He showed you action. Going through. Not just telling you I love you. He didn't just tell you I love you. He showed you. In his forgiveness. In his grace. In his mercy. He showed you. What are you going to do? How are you going to present that to somebody else? Not just by telling them, but showing them. I tell people all the time, your audio have to match your video. What are you talking about, Chosen? Mean what you're saying have to match your life. Your lifestyle have to match what you're saying. How you live and what you say have to match. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that just talk. There's no action. Oh, I forgive. And the next minute they somewhere else talking about the folks in another live or in person. You don't forgive. Every knee will confess and everyone will be judged for what they do. We all have an end date. We will leave here one day. We will be judged individually, not as a body of people. But in your forgiveness, Jesus said, I forgave you. Why you can't forgive somebody else? What makes you better than me? What makes you better than them? What makes you better? Sometimes forgiving and going into the forgiving journey, and we've been hurt as young kids. We may be going through some suffering and we may be going through some pain, and we're experiencing hurt and pain now in our lives with people. People may be administering this pain and hurt to us, right? And it makes it difficult for us to forgive. I've learned this for myself, that there's a lot of people that's going through a lot of different things in their lives. And what we will say is, I don't care about what they're going through. I'm worrying about me. I'm worrying about me. That's what people will say. They don't care about what you're going through. They shouldn't have said that to me. I'm worrying about me. I don't care what they're going through. But that's not how we make things better. That's not how we make a better world. That's not how Jesus would have done it. If we want to be in his image, we have to always think about the goodness of what? God. But we always say we God-fearing, we this, we saints, you this, you Christians, you Baptists, you all these different things, but your walk is different. Your walk is totally different from what you're saying. You got a totally different walk. You find yourself in bad places. How did you get there? How did you get there in these bad places? How you get hooked up with these bad people? Who want to be around folks that's just talking about folks, regardless of how they wrong? How do that make it better? You know how people will say, well, they did this to me. I just want to get even. And if I get even, I'll feel better. But you know what? In retrospect, you don't feel better. It's not going to make you feel better when you get even, because you're not healed. Getting back at somebody is not healed. It don't heal you. It makes it worse, because you will think about what you've done to them. And then you'll think about what you need to be done, what needs to be done for you. So you're all over the place. You're all over the place. We know, as cliche, let's go cliche, 2 wrongs don't make a right. But we got so many Christians and so many different people and saying they this and saying they that. I see so much of this stuff on the internet. People saying what they are, but they're not walking that walk. I don't have to point people out. Nobody's perfect. But this is a time of healing, a time of, bettering ourselves. I was there too. I'm learning how to forgive. I'm in my learning process. I'm not all the way there. This is a collaboration. I'm learning how to do it. I've been hurt so bad, it's unreal. I got so many scars. I got scars everywhere. And if you roll your sleeves up, you got them too. You got scars too. But we got to learn how to forgive. You will know when you truly forgive. Your spirit will be so different. Your language would change. Your personality would change. Your involvement with people would change. You won't be in those places you don't supposed to be in, because you can't heal in a hurt place. You cannot heal in a hurt place. So if you find Chosen in a live that's so disruptive and talking about folks and going at folks, bad language, I'm not healing. I'm preparing for war. Not spiritual war, physical war. But your healing need to come through the spiritual, not the physical. But you in a worldly war, and you need to be in a spiritual war. So you find yourself in these lives and talking about folks. The numbers are through the roof. They're talking about who knows what and sex and all these different things, but you need healing. And how can you get healed if you need heart surgeon? You at the brain, you over here at the brain surgeon. He don't know nothing about the heart. He don't know nothing about the heart. But you in a brain surgeon, but you need surgery on your heart. Why are you there? Why are you not in a healing place? And you always find yourself in a hurt place? Because you haven't forgiven yet. All those people and the internet, I'm telling you, we know, right? This social media thing, I mean, it would really scar you. It would really scar you, this social media, if you're not strong. That's why I'm here to tell you people, you got to get spiritually strong. You got to get spiritually forgived. So when you're on here and you're trying to spread the good news, spread the good gospel, that you've forgiven all these people that may come up against you, that wronged you, that scandalized your name, I forgive them. So when somebody say, well, yeah, what's the name was talking about you? What did they say? What was they saying? Wow, man, they had so much good things to say about you. Are you serious? No, you wasn't talking to that person. They couldn't have nothing good to say about me, because the last time we was into it. I said a lot of bad things about them, and they said bad things about me. We can't be talking about the same person. Was that so-and-so? Yeah. They had nothing but good things to say about you. Love, compassionate, praying for you, uplifting. That's what they were doing. And they were really sincere about that. And they wasn't just talking about you. They wasn't just talking about you. They was talking about themselves too. It wasn't just all about you. It was about them too. That healing. They was in a place of healing. So if you hear their names, it's going to come up in the good news. In a good place, in a healing place. That's where they're at. They don't have any bad things to say about you. Every time I see them, they're uplifting. Whatever person you were dealing with then, that ain't who they are now. Well, they being fake. They fake and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, they just doing this on the internet. They just fake. When you get a job or when you start in a career, what do you want somebody to do for you? Give you a chance. Just give me a chance. Just give me one shot at this. I can do this job. I can do it. I promise you. I give you my word. I won't fail you. I'll do good. I'll make this company look good. Just give me one shot. And that's what people are not willing to give. People a chance. We all fall short of God's grace. We're going to fall short of your grace. And that's where forgiveness come in at. Forgive me. Forgive me. So if I ever wrong anyone, or if you thought that I wronged you, you heard that I've wronged you, I apologize. Forgive me. Forgive me. Because we do things unknowingly and we're denying it. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. But it probably came out in a way where somebody took it the wrong way. Forgive me for things that's unseen and unheard. Forgive me. Because we want forgiveness, but we're not willing to give forgiveness. I know one day Chosen will be judged on his life. That dash that I'm living in between, that I will be judged. And I know I'm not going to be perfect through there, but I know that I strive to be better. I wanted to be in a different light. I don't want to be better than everybody else. I just want to be obedient to God. That's it. I want to live a fulfilled life, not a worldly life. Always looking for things and validation and, cars and things like that. I don't want to live that type of life. I want to have a fulfilled life, a sincere life that God can trust me in my word. One of the things we know, right? We say, all we got is what? Our word. That's like your credit. All you got is your credit. So when you go in to get you a new house and a new car, they say, let me see that credit report. That's all. I don't care nothing about what you're saying. I want to see that credit report. That credit report is going to tell me if you're going to get this house. But in the world, me and you, our credit report is our word. I give you my word. I give you my word. So that's what you're giving God. Jesus, I give you my word. I want to be better. I want you to live through me. I want people, when they see me, wow, that man know God. That man know God. He got a relationship. He got a real relationship with God. He could take on trauma. He could take on emotions. He can go through a storm. He can go through the wilderness and have faith and trust God's word. Whatever the outcome may be, I trust it. See, we all want to be strong in certain ways. We want to be strong in defense, defending our wives, women defending your husband, women defending your children, But when do we want to be strong in God, defend God, his word? And I'm not talking about a debate. I'm never going to debate you with God. Never going to debate you with Jesus. Never. When people come or if they want to debate, well, Jesus is real, God is real, a big bang and all that, I'm never going to debate you. Have it your way. We're at Burger King now. Have it your way. Whatever you want on it, put it on it. But you're going to never detour me for what I believe. And I'm not going to do that. So how do you reach people? How do you reach souls if you're not debating? How do you reach people? How? By people watching you. That's how you reach people. How you live. That's how you reach people. Somebody will never, ever, ever pick a Bible up. They would never, ever pick this Bible up. The word would have to come through you and how you're living and how you're speaking and how you're walking. That man knows something. That man knows something. That woman knows something. Wow. Maybe I need to do some more research. Now you're winning. You're winning now. You're not debating. You're living your life through Christ. You're going through storms. You're trusting God. You're trusting the process. You're picking up scars along the way. You're getting wounded. But you're trusting the process. Other people are going through, they're getting wounded too. But your life is different. You're manifesting. Favor is upon you. Mercy and grace is upon your life when you come out. As if you never went through the storm. That's why the saying says this. You don't look like what you've been through. You don't look like what you've been through. Some people go through the storm and the houses are down the street and your house is still standing. You never thought your house been through a storm. We've seen that, right? They've shown that to you guys on the news where tornado come and hit, and it hit the whole town. A few houses just sitting there, and the house next door to you is shattered. And the house on the other side of you is shattered. But your house is still standing like it never been touched. How? How can that happen? Your house was in the midst of the storm too. But we didn't get hit. You don't look like you went through nothing. Your house don't look like it went through nothing. Your car is in the driveway. Your roof is on. Your shingles are on there. Your siding is on the house. You can go in the house and start cooking. Cut the stove on, your gas, and how you got lights? You don't look like what you've been through. That's what you call favor. Why everybody don't get it? Everybody can't handle favor. Everybody ain't gonna believe. God did miracles and things. There were witnesses with these miracles. It wasn't that he was just coming and just say, "Hey, I'm the Messiah. Believe me." No, he performed miracles and there were witnesses. And there were people that still wouldn't believe, even when miracles were presented right in front of them, they still didn't believe. They wouldn't believe. So everybody don't deserve favor. You don't look like what you've been through. Now listen, some of us done been through a lot more than others. We have. And I want to tell you this for the people that's listening. God gets the glory out of everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing is wasted with God. God wastes nothing. He gets the glory out of everything. You being sick, he get the glory out of it. You can't walk, he get the glory out of it. You can't get out of bed. He get the glory out of it. God get the glory out of everything. Well, why? He won't let me walk again. Why? I have not had the ability to get out of bed again. What kind of glory can he get out of that? Sometimes God will allow you to keep that lean that you got. Everybody won't be able to walk again. Everybody won't be able to see again as the blind man did. But God would get the glory out of that lean that you have. You may not walk the same again, but God would get the glory out of that walk. See, God got the glory out of everything that he did, even through the suffering and the things like that. He got glory out of it. The scars. So what you going through, don't think it's just for nothing. We go through things and we don't understand it. We won't understand everything that what we're dealing with. Some things is not for you to understand, but we want to know everything. But one thing that we need to know, and we don't even do that. So why you need to know this? Prayer works. Are we praying? Faith works. Are we having faith? Forgiving people works. Are we forgiving people? But we want to know everything else, what God is doing in the midst. But what we do know, are we implementing that in our lives? Or are we influenced for more bad than it is good? One thing I've learned, and I learned this at an early age, and I thank God for this, that I never put myself around bad people. I never put myself in bad situations around bad people. God gave me that spirit of discernment to know that this is not right. I'm talking about it at an early age when I lost my mom, and I'm out here in the streets and people are trying to manipulate me to get me to smoke or drink or to do drugs and things like that. God said, no, I don't do that. You've seen too much. You've been through too much. This is not what your life is going to be about. I have more for you in store for you. So I didn't put myself in those situations. So a lot of times what people do is they put themselves in these bad situations with bad people. Because we feel like those bad people make you feel good. Why? Why do they make you feel good? Because they go along with everything that you say. If you're angry, they go along with the anger. If you're hurt and unforgiving, they go along with it. Yeah, don't forgive them. Forget her. Forget him. That's why you want to be in that place. You want to be in a place of discipline. Being disciplined. Like basketball players, they're being disciplined because they got to take that workout. They got to be able to run up and down that floor for an hour. Discipline. Not just sitting on the bench. Football players running up and down the field, lifting weights. You have to be disciplined. But a lot of people don't want to be in a disciplined space. They want to be in a relaxed place. What Iverson say? Practice? Practice? What do you mean, practice? No, we ain't practicing. No. So, just getting back to my journey of forgiveness. I'm on that journey. I'm on a good journey of forgiveness. God has uplifted me. I'm in a new space and I'm loving it. I feel good. I'm telling you, it's like a weight off of not my shoulder, but my whole body. I feel so free when I forgive people. I've forgiven everyone. Everyone has been forgiven, even in my past childhood coming up into adulthood, how I was failed as a young teen, failed as a teenager, a kid, adult. I forgive it. I'm free. I am really free. You got to really do it for yourself, to free yourself. I'm in a whole different space now. I'm walking that walk now. God has given me peace, perfect peace. And only he can give you perfect peace. But you got to want it. That's the only thing. You got to want that perfect peace. Sometimes we want it, but we're not willing to do the work, right? You got to do the work. Faith without works is what? On arrival. On arrival. Faith without works is, but we don't want to put in the work. And once again, I want to tell you guys, it is not easy forgiving people for hurting you. It's not. That's why you have to have God in it. You cannot do it by yourself. You cannot do it by, I tried to do it by myself. Really, I did. I'm a strong man. I done been through, I can't even describe what I done been through. And I couldn't do it by myself, as strong as I am. I needed God. And only God can do it. Only God can do it. Only God can heal you from that hurt and pain and the forgiveness. But you got to want it. That's the thing about it. It's like even if you're on drugs or alcohol and things like that, right? You got to want to be healed. You got to want to be delivered from alcohol and drugs. You got to really want it. You got to say, hey, listen, I want off of this. I know it's bad. You got to want it. So you got to want forgiveness. I want to forgive people for what they done. I really want to do this. I'm not just saying it. I want to put in the work. I want to put in this work. I know it ain't going to be easy. But who wants stuff easy all the time? I don't know why TikTok, they want me to do a puzzle to make sure I'm not a robot. I'm not AI. So we got to be willing to put in that work. And a lot of people not. And one of the things I've learned is hard work do pay off. And I've learned also to make sure that I'm around good people to keep me elevated, to keep me strong. Because I cannot do this alone. Even though we need God, we do. But you need to be around good people, good, positive people, not just spiritual people. I just don't want a spiritual person. I don't want a spiritual person around me. I want somebody that loves Jesus. I want somebody that loves Jesus, to have a relationship with God. You know the Father? You got a relationship with him? That's powerful. That's powerful. You connected to the source. You're not just spiritual, because everybody, on TikTok and Facebook and out here in the world, they just spiritual. They're spiritual people. I want people connected. I want to be around people that's connected to the source. So when I need coverance, you're able to cover me. When I feel low, you're able to pick me up. That's what I need. Amen. So listen, it's been good. I thank all of you guys for coming in on this channel and being a part of this journey of learning how to forgive. It's not just easy process where I just forgive. It's a process. You have to learn how to do this and start implementing it in your life. And first of all, we need Jesus Christ in our lives to start that journey. I just want to thank all of you guys. This is Coach Chosen. I will be live again, have upcoming programs. So if you're not tapped in, tap in, set your alerts. I will be coming live with a lot of different topics that's positive, uplifting, so that we'll be able to get through the things that we're going through. And we're not going to just consolidate it inside. We're going to let these things out. so that we'll be better. Amen. So we all want to be better, better people, better versions of ourselves. We want to be better versions. And how do we get there? By being around good people that's connected to the source, so that now you get what you need and you're able to give it now. Right. So listen, thank all of you guys for being here. This is Coach Chosen. I will see you on the next time. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you later.